Greetings, Stars fans. This is the Two Brothers Mic'd Up show. If you did not know, we come with a discussion after every single game. We're deciding to bring a little shorter one because this is off of the back of the first game, off of back-to-back. So, as always, we start off each video with previous video. We do predictions at the very end, so always stick around. Quinn, you said that if Dallas was to come on top, you liked a score of 5-2. You also liked, if Philadelphia was going to come on top, you liked a score of 3-2. So whoever lost, you liked the thought of it being a low-scoring game for whoever would lose. I liked the score, if Dallas was to come on top, of a score of 4-1. But I also liked if Dallas was going to lose, I liked the Philly coming on top of a score of 3-4. Dallas Stars win 3-1, so I was kind of close in my prediction. And the way this game started, it started off blazing fast. There was so many shots and action and all this kind of stuff. That first period was one of the most frantic, high-paced periods that we had in, I think, all of season, besides the 4-goal outburst against the Carolina Hurricanes. But this one, it had a different feel to it. It felt like both these teams wanted to be in this game. How did you like how the game started, Quinn?
It was a really good outing for Dallas. They really needed to come out strong because we all know Philadelphia is a heavy-hitting team that like to intimidate their foes. So it was good to see the pressure put on them really early. And Dallas, they looked good throughout the entire period.
Yeah, they did. Going off your fact, Philly does like to come out and hit. Like, the first 8 minutes of that period was just an all-out battle. Overall, Philadelphia checks in at 30 hits. Dallas only checking in at 17. So I think this was Philly's plan from the start. This was their second game of a back-to-back. So you're really catching them maybe with tired legs. And so what they wanted to do was kind of tire out the bodies of Dallas. You're getting them off of 2 days rest. Again, it was a lengthy in-between start to their game, just like when they played with Carolina. They had like a 4-day break with that game. So Dallas was clearly going to have the upper hand in endurance and stamina, which those are the same thing. But Philadelphia came out, and they came out blazing. They did not show that they were coming off of a back-to-back against St. Louis, nonetheless, one of the tougher teams in the league. It's one of those games that Philadelphia showed no sign of weakness. Let's go into what really stood out into this game. Let's go with some players. What players did you like in this game, Quinn?
Right off the bat, you got to say the captain. He came out with a strong physical type game and a strong offensive type game. You see him and Sagan just getting together, doing their Finnegan thing, and just connecting on everything.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Ben and Sagan both came out of the gates. They were on their horses. They were ready to gallop through this whole game. Combined, they had a 11 shot on net performance tonight. But that goes into the overall 44 shots that they had on the Philadelphia Flyers. 44 shots is the most the Dallas Stars have ever put on the Philadelphia Flyers in 22 seasons with playing against Philadelphia. The Dallas Stars have not gone 44 shots against Philadelphia. So it was so good that I honestly think they are watching these videos because in the last video, we talked about how Dallas needed to just keep the foot on the gas and keep really going. It was nice to see that, you know what, they were just going to throw everything they possibly could out at the Philadelphia Flyers. But give credit to the Philadelphia Flyers goalie, player of the game right there. I mean, he is the only reason why the Philadelphia Flyers stayed in this game. Yes, they had some good chances, like that 2-on-1 with Giroux and Shin. Niemi makes a fantastic save. It was unbelievable. I think that really set the tone for the game for the Dallas Stars, was getting that big early save on them. Let's go to defense. Demir's first game back after a 3-game stint of being injured. What did you see from Demir's, and who else did you like in the game?
It's always good to have Demir's back in the lineup. They put in some good statistics saying that, like, all the games that Demir's has been out, they've had 4 goals scored on him, or 4 out of 6 games that he's been out. So he's definitely an integral part to this defense. They need him to be healthy. They need him to be in the lineup. And overall, it worked out good for him being with Oduya. Oduya making some good stops as well. So it was good to see them back together.
So I know we've talked about this in earlier videos, but Demir's really seems like he kind of brings the glue to the foundation of the Dallas Stars defensive core. He really gets back there and he likes to calm things down. He plays really well with Johnny Oduya. Whenever he's out of the lineup, what do you see from the defensive core opposed to him being in?
I see a all-out offensive defense is what I see. It seems like everybody's focused more on offense, and everybody's trying to make those 2-line passes, those breakaway passes, breakout passes, and they don't ever really connect that well. And whenever he's in, it seems like the defense takes more of a buckle-down approach, aside from the Goligoski and Klingberg defensive pairing. It seems like everybody else just buckles down.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's go into the goals. So Dallas gets 6 power plays in this game. They don't cash in on any of it. Is that concerning? I don't really think so, because we're still ranked in the top 5. We still have a great power play. But 6 power plays and they don't get anything, that was a little concerning, but they weather the storm. But Philadelphia on the other hand, they get one on their first power play in the second period off of a blazing shot from the points, and of course Giroux is there setting up the goal. There was a screen, Niemi wasn't able to catch up to it, and just like that, with the Stars having so much momentum, they get one penalty and they get scored on. Their penalty kill has been better, but it still needs to tighten up. They can't go through the season to where they get scored on. If they have like 3 penalties, they can't go through the season of letting one go. They have to be very consistent with their penalty kill. But not too long later, we get a Matthias Janmark goal off of a fluky bounce from Wayne Simmons' skates. You always throw something towards the net because you never know what's going to happen. That's why in the early ages of learning to play hockey, a coach will always say, put everything on net because you never know what's going to happen. And that's the proof is in the pudding right there. It's you throw it at the net. Granted, it was probably a centering pass, but that's how it goes. You need luck in this game. And then about 3 minutes later, we get the gritty, hard-nosed goal from Roussel, getting his 6th goal and another game-winning goal on home ice. You know, Roussel takes care of this house just like Under Armour wants you to do. And he establishes himself in front of the net. That's where he's supposed to live. It's very Brendan Morrow-esque. You know, those types of players, they get garbage goals, and they should revel in those garbage goals. Going on into the later stages of the game, how did you see the game playing out towards the end?
It seemed kind of, I'd say about the second half of the second period, it seemed that Dallas was starting to fall back into their Carolina game. They were starting to get outplayed. The momentum seemed to be shifting towards Philadelphia with their physical play. And, you know, like you said, Ika gets that penalty. That was very questionable. I mean, from the replay, you know, he's obviously just holding it off. But from a ref's view, you know, they can never really tell. So they get the penalty, and like you said, they get scored on. Instant momentum change to Philadelphia. We come see Janmark do his little shoot to the net, and instantly, now the momentum's back in Dallas's court.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. It's those momentum changes. I know there are some people out there that do not believe in momentum, like, at all. There will be people out there that no, it's all in the stats and the statistics and everything like that. And some people out there do not believe in momentum. And once Janmark got that goal, boy, you better believe that there is a thing called momentum, because the Stars did not look back at all. At all. And here's another thing. It was an interesting quote that I heard on the radio concerning a football coach, talking about the 3 stages of a season. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I think it kind of applies to a hockey season as well. He says there are 3 trials to a season. The first there are 3 stages to a season. The first one is establishing your identity. Now, the Stars, I think they're working off a lot of last season's identity, in that offense, you know, go out, guns blazing, you know, pistol shooting, gun toting, gunslinger. That's who this team needs to be. And right now, I think we're out of the identity stage, because everybody knows who the Dallas Stars are in this league now. We score goals, we have offense, we're going to take it to the house. And so now we are in the second stage. It's called the trials stage. This is where you start to learn what works and what doesn't work. And I think I'm starting to see the trials form in how Dallas sees how they just can't hold back anymore. I think this game really proves that once they got up in that lead, they really didn't turtle like they did against Carolina. Granted, it wasn't that big of a lead or anything like that, but a lead nonetheless. And I just want to say that Dallas needs to just bring offense. You know, worry about defense when you need to, but you need to just keep going out, keep firing. And that's what the trials of this part of the season is. We're seeing the trials, and I think this is where they're going to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And then there's a third stage that's called return to identity. Once you get through these trials and you've figured out what has worked and what hasn't worked, once you get back to your identity from the beginning of the season, what you wanted to establish, that's where you really start to see if something has worked out. Dallas is starting, and hopefully on the right path, to really understanding that. And boy, do we suck at the shootout.
Seriously.
You know, I'm gonna. Oh my god. That's really all we wanted to really talk about. Let's go into the predictions for tonight's game against the St. Louis Blues. Or actually, let's go into the rating. What did you rate this game, Quinn?
I rated it a B minus. Just because they're starting to fall into like a little trend, I think, of where they get one bad thing that happens to them and they immediately buckle underneath it. Such as the Carolina game and this game with that power play goal. That the momentum just starts to shift to the other team. I would like to see them not to let it get to them, just to keep playing hard. So they eventually did with the Yanmark goal. You obviously see that they started playing with a purpose. So that's why I gave them the B minus.
Interesting. I gave an A minus. I thought all around this game was very good for the Dallas Stars. You know, granted they got out hit, and they had a bunch of giveaways. I think that's why I gave an A minus. But, you know, they got the goaltending they needed. They kept up their end on keeping everything funneled to the Philadelphia net. They had a lot of possession time. They didn't get into penalty trouble, even though they got scored on one of their penalty kills. But all around, I think this was a good game. A nail biter, yeah. But all around, I think a good game. Let's go into predictions for the the St. Louis Blues game. What predictions do you have for that?
Again, it's going to be another good Western Conference game. I feel that the Blues are going to come out more physical than Dallas. So Dallas is going to have to, again, play that game that they played against Philadelphia. Skill, speed, shoot first. So Dallas comes on top. I'm going to say 3-2. And if St. Louis comes on top, I'm going to say it's 2-1.
So you think it's going to be a close game. Is that because they're on a back-to-back, or because that's just how those games go?
I think that's just how those games go.
Interesting. I think if Dallas is to come on top, they should show signs of jump. I think this game could really bring confidence to them. I like a score for Dallas of 4-3. I think it will be a close game. But if St. Louis comes on top, they are a strong team, and we have not played them this season yet. So I like a score of 5-3. I think the loser gets 3 goals no matter what, but I think whoever comes out on top, it'll just be a little bit of an edge to the winner. So there you have it. That's been the brief discussion that we've had, even though we sucked at the shootout. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share anywhere you would like. Any feedback helps. Help turn this into something great. Remember, this is for fans, by fans, and as always, tune in next time